Hi, I'm Lisa Slater from Make Your Copy Count. This video is part of the FHT Stay at Home series and the topic is the power of your blog, how to use content marketing to get more sales. So I thought I'd start by just explaining quickly what a blog is. When the internet was new, a lot of people started doing online diaries, so they would keep a log of their experiences, what they'd been doing, what they'd seen, who they'd met, that kind of thing. And these were called weblogs. And that's where the word blog came from. It actually was an abbreviation of the word web log. As the internet evolved, websites evolved, blogs evolved, and people realised that you could actually use a blog for more than just a diary. And so people started making money from their blogs, and people started using blogs as a marketing tool, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, how to use your blog as part of a content marketing strategy. So that brings us nicely onto what is content marketing. So if you type into Google what is content marketing, you'll get a definition along the lines of this. Content marketing is a strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant and consistent content to attract and retain a clearly defined audience and ultimately to drive profitable customer action. But what does that actually mean? So there's three main points to that definition. The first is strategy. It's strategic. You need a plan, you need an objective. If you want to get results from your content marketing, then you need to know what those results look like so that you can make sure you get them. The second part is defined audience. You have to know who you're creating content for in order to make sure that you are creating the right type of content that's going to attract them, content that's going to appeal to them, content that's going to add value in some way. Which leads us on to the third point, which is valuable content, valuable, relevant and consistent content. So how can you add value to that audience? What is it that you can offer them that is going to make a difference to their life or business? And that could be through educating them, through informing them, giving them tips and advice, or it could simply be through entertaining them. So we're going to cover all those 3 points in a little bit more detail, but I just thought I'd quickly tell you why I love blogging as part of a content marketing strategy. The first reason is because a blog is a really cost-effective way of doing content marketing. If you're creating the content yourself, then the only cost to you is your time, so it's really cost-effective. The second reason that I love blogging is because it's so versatile. Once you've written the content for your blog, you can take sentences and turn them into social media posts. You can take a series of blogs and turn them into an email series or a PDF or a short ebook. So you can really utilise your content and get more from it. So that's why I love text content. But you should think of your blog like a magazine. It's up to you exactly what goes into it. You might decide you want to do short posts, you might decide that you want to do really long in-depth articles, you might decide that you would prefer to do video blogs rather than text blogs. It's completely up to you. It's your magazine, it's up to you what goes in it. The only thing is really to remember that you've got to create content that your target audience is going to relate to, that is going to be relevant to them and that they're actually going to want to read or watch or listen to. So let's look at those 3 points again then. So we're looking at strategy, audience and value. So we'll start with strategy. This is really important. You've got to have an objective for your blog. If you don't know what you want to achieve, how will you know if you're actually getting the results you want? So of course the main objective is to win more customers, but how can we use a blog to do that? How can we use our content to do that? So I'm just going to quickly cover 5 different objectives that you might set for your content and just explain a little more about how they work in order to get more customers. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is establishing your expertise, building trust with your customers. Now this is one of the easiest ones to do through blogging, because you can create really in-depth articles that inform and educate your readers about your industry. So you can do top tips, you can do how-to guides, you can do checklists, you can do advice posts, you can do things to avoid, you can do common mistakes, you can do industry news, you know, anything that's informative and helpful and shows your expertise, shows that you are knowledgeable in your field, that you are the go-to person, that you have all that experience, that if people come to you, then they're not just getting some fly-by-night, they're getting someone who understands the industry, who understands their field, who is really passionate about what they do and really knowledgeable and expert in what they do. And of course, once you're building that trust, once you're showing that you're an expert compared to your competitors, people are going to be more inclined to buy from you rather than one of your competitors, because you've already shown that you are an expert at what you do, that you're one of the best, that you're not just someone who's making it up as you go along. The second way that you can use your blog to help you win more customers is by creating promotional content. Now, this isn't sales content, this isn't a sales pitch trying to sell people something. It's raising awareness of a product or service, showing how it benefits someone in their life or in their business, how it will add value, and explaining the pros and cons maybe. Perhaps you want to review 2 different methods of something or 2 different products that people can get that you sell, and explain to people which one is going to be more beneficial to them. So a great example is this video that I'm creating right now. I'm explaining the benefits of content marketing and how it works and how you can do it, in the hope that more people will understand why content marketing is so beneficial to their business. And some of those people will go off and do it themselves, but others will hopefully come to me for my expertise and my input into their content. So using your content to raise awareness and promote things is a really great way of doing it. This is really good as well if you are offering something niche. So if you work in therapy and you are offering quite a new therapy, or something that's a little bit different that isn't well known throughout the world, you can talk about how that works, why it's beneficial, research that's been done into it, case studies, so you can really promote the benefits of it and educate people on why that is a great option for them. So the next type of content that I want to talk about is content that is designed to improve your search engine optimization. So if you want to get found in search results when people type into Google keywords that you want to get found for, then you can create content around those keywords that's going to help you get more found more easily. So one of the ways you need to do this is to research those keywords, find out what it is people are searching, what kind of things are they typing into Google or other search engines, and then create your content based on that. So for example, let's say I wanted to get found if people were searching what is a blog. I can create a blog post that is called What is a Blog. Then I can talk all about what a blog is and how to do it, and I can make sure that's optimized for the keywords by making sure that my image alt tags are properly optimized, that my URL is properly optimized, that my meta description is properly optimized, so I can make sure that I'm getting found for those keywords. What I will say, if you are focusing on search engine optimization, is make sure that your content is also value adding. Make sure that it is readable, make sure that it is something that people would want to read. There's no point driving loads of new people to your website if they're not going to stay there, if they take one look at your blog post and think, oh, this is rubbish. So don't stuff it full of keywords. Don't focus too much on writing specifically for search engines. Make sure that your content is valuable to people as well, because not only do you want to get people to your website, you want them to stay there, and you want them to also eventually buy from you, whether that's investing in products or whether that is booking a service, booking an appointment with you, or making an inquiry, calling you up. Another objective that you might have for your content is to build engagement with you or your brand. So then you might create content that is case studies, that's people profiles, a day in the life of. You might have a really interesting company history or a great story as to why you started out in the field that you did. You might want to talk about how you got qualified, how you became an expert in your industry. You might want to put up some industry news, some company news, so accreditations that you've won recently or awards that you've been nominated for, events that you're exhibiting at, anything to do with your company and your brand, really raising awareness of you, showcasing your personality and building trust with your brand, not just with what you do, showing that you're different to your competitors, getting your personality across and making people engage with you or your company, not just what you do. So that's a really great way of building those loyal customers and getting engagement. And then the final objective that I want to talk about is how to win people by entertaining them. So this is a great way of building a bigger social media presence. You can do this by creating less serious content. So for example, on my Instagram I put out a word of the day every day, so it's just a bit of fun. People might not know the word, they might have never heard that word before, or it might be a word that they don't use very often, so they might try and incorporate it into their day, or it might be a word that people just love using because it's just such a fantastic word. So it's just a little bit of fun, it's a little bit less serious. And you can also use this in your blog, so you can create those fun type of blog posts, things like celebrity makeovers that have gone horribly wrong, or the biggest wedding disasters that people have ever had, or the weirdest things that people have ever come across with their clients. The sort of content that makes us click, it makes us curious. We want to know what those awful makeovers turned out like, and then when we go into the blog post we can find out what went wrong and why it went wrong. Think about the kind of content that's going to entertain people, the sort of thing that you'd see on social media and click on because you'd be curious to find out the answer to the question, or you'd be curious to find out what those things were. So think about how you can entertain your audience, and that can help you build a social media following and build that engagement with people. So there you go. So that's 5 objectives you might have. You might want to establish your expertise and build trust. You might want to promote products or services and raise awareness of those products and services and the benefits that they provide. You might want to improve your search engine optimization by optimizing your content and focusing it around keywords. You might want to engage people with you or your brand by creating content that is about your company and that showcases your personality. Or you might want to entertain your audience and help build your social media presence and establish a bigger online presence and a bigger following. Of course, all 5 of those tie in nicely with each other. If you go ahead with one with a specific objective, then you're probably going to also meet one of the other objectives as well along the way. So really think about your objective. What is it you want to achieve with your content in order to get people to that next stage, that some of those people are then going to go on to become customers or clients. So that's strategy, that's objective, that's the first part of our content marketing. The next thing that we need to think about is our target audience. So it's really important to think about your target audience, because if you don't know who they are, then how do you know if you're adding value? How do you know what content to create? So first of all, think about who you can reach. Be realistic. We would all love the millionaires reading our content and becoming clients, but are they likely to be reading your blog? Or are you more likely to get local people, friends of friends, family members, past clients, new friends of clients, that kind of thing. So think about who you can actually reach through your content. Who is it realistic to try and reach through your content? The second thing, which is I suppose even more important, is thinking about who you actually want to reach. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of they have many different clients, so they try and tailor their content to all those clients. But why not focus on more of the clients that you want? Who are the clients that you actually want? So think about, for example, if you work in hair and beauty, you might decide that you really want to have a focus on brides-to-be. You want to attract brides-to-be, people who are recently engaged, because you want to be the go-to person for doing their hair and makeup on their big day. So then once you know that that is your target audience, you can create content that is specifically tailored to them. So you can do checklists for things that they need to think about before they get married. You can do blog posts about different hairstyles and the pros and cons of having it up or down, and whether you should have a veil and that kind of thing. So you can really tailor your content to your audience. Again, if you work in therapy and you decide that you really want to work with more sports people, sports professionals that have had injuries, and then you can create content that is really tailored to them, that is interesting to them, that is engaging to them. So content like the worst injuries footballers have ever had on the field, or the things that people should look out for when they first start running, things to make sure that they're not going to injure themselves. So you can also do guides to marathon training, how to eat well, those type of things that people who are sporty will be interested in, and you're building that engagement, you're building that trust, so when they do need your services, you're the person that they're going to want to come to. So really think about who it is you want to attract and create your content to them, because then you're going to get more of those type of clients. And that doesn't mean that you won't get the other clients as well, because you'll still get, through word of mouth and other marketing, you'll still get the other clients that you are getting or that you want to get. But if you focus on attracting more of the clients you want, then you're going to end up becoming the go-to person in that industry. So you're going to win more of the business that you actually want, which is great, because you're going to be getting more of the business that you want, more of the clients that you love, and you're also going to be able to deliver a better service because you are going to become a specialist in that area. So once you've got your audience, you know who you're writing content for, you've got your objective, you know what you want to achieve from your content, now you can work out how you can add value. So this is going to be much easier once you know what you want to achieve and who you're trying to target, because you can think about how you can add value. So if, for example, I just mentioned that you might want to target brides-to-be, and your objective might be to establish your expertise in this area, to build that trust, so that when they are ready to decide who's going to do their hair and makeup, it's you that they're going to pick. Well, now we know that we want to educate and inform and establish our expertise, and we're targeting brides-to-be. It's quite easy to come up with some ideas that are going to appeal to those brides-to-be and that are going to show that you're an expert in what you do. So really think about how you can add value and how you can create content that people that you want to attract is actually going to want to read. So there you go. Now hopefully you know a little bit more about content marketing and how it can add value to your business and how to get started. So really think about who that audience is that you want to attract, what is it you want to achieve from your content, and then how can you do that by adding value to your audience. I hope you found this useful. If you do want more information, then you can buy my book, The A to Z of Blogging. That is available from Amazon or Waterstones online. Alternatively, I do run full-day workshops for people. They are live workshops via video link, and there's 2 courses on offer. The first is my Blogging for Business course, and the morning is about building a strategy, then we actually come up with ideas for your content, and then the afternoon goes in more depth about how to write a blog, how to create valuable content, how to structure your blog, and we also look at repurposing your blog and guest blogging. So that's a full-day course. You can find more details on my website. The other course that I offer is my Right to Sell course, and this is all around how to create marketing and sales copy that turns visitors to your website into customers, or turns your emails into customers, how to convert more people through your written content. Again, that's a full-day workshop. It's online via video link, and that covers all sorts from how to build a brief, how to identify your target audience, how to objection handle, how to identify your USP, how to promote benefits over features, and then we look at writing different types of content. So we cover websites, direct mail, email, press releases, blog posts, and all different types of content. So if you'd like more information on either of those courses, or you'd like to book, you can visit my website at www.promotional.com. makeyourcopycount.com. I hope you found this video useful. If you've got any questions, please feel free to get in touch. You can find my details on my website or follow me on Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn. All that's left to say is thanks for listening.